How is it going, guys? Welcome to an $800 gaming PC build for July 2014. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to say that this $800 price point is really what I recommend you guys delve into when you're going into PC gaming. $800 to $1,000 seems to be the perfect range of money to spend if you want to get the most performance to price. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. I think an $800 build is perfect for those of you trying to get into PC gaming and want the best performance you can possibly get, but not break the bank as well. So with that being said, let's get right into this video. Now, to start things off, I went with the AMD FX 8350. It's a 4.0 GHz 8-core CPU. Now, originally I was going to try to fit an Intel Core i5 4670K in here, but it's actually about $60 more expensive right now. The FX 8350 is only $170 right now, and I just think that's a fantastic deal for a really solid CPU. As I said prior, the FX 8350 is an 8-core CPU, and not a lot of games are taking advantage of the 8-core architecture of this CPU at the moment. Some games are trying to take advantage of more than 4-core technology, though. Battlefield 4 did that. Battlefield 4 actually utilizes 6 cores. I believe Watch Dogs does as well. So as we do move into the next generation, more and more titles are gonna, utilize the more than 4 cores that the 8350 has to offer. I expect games like Shadows of Mordor and Witcher 3 to also utilize it. But for $170, it's a great all-around CPU, and what I mean by that is not only is it a beast at gaming, video editing, live streaming, things like that, the FX 8350 really excels at. The only downside of this CPU is the temperature that it can get up to. This CPU can get pretty hot, so if you guys want to get a decent CPU cooler like the Hyper 212 Evo for another 30 bucks, that's up to you. You don't need it, but it's something I recommend, and in the future you can add that on. It's one of the downsides of the 8350, and it's understandable. It's running at 4 GHz. It's an 8-core CPU. It's bound to get pretty hot. So yeah. Great CPU for the price right now. I think the price just makes this CPU a really good value. Moving on to the motherboard, I went with the Gigabyte GA990FXA. This is about 116 bucks right now. Really great motherboard. It's an all-around board. For this kind of price, it's really great. It's got SATA 6, USB 3, you can go for a Crossfire or SLI configuration, 4 RAM slots, just loaded with features and, a lot of upgradability options with this motherboard, a lot of SATA 6 ports. Gigabyte makes some great motherboards. They also have great warranty policy, so I highly recommend this motherboard. And for a great price, 116 bucks for this good of a motherboard, I think is just a really rock solid deal. And with all those features that you're getting with this motherboard, you really can't go wrong with this. Moving on to the RAM of the build, I went with the G.Skill Sniper Series 8GB, two 4GB sticks running at 1600 MHz. About $83 at Newegg right now. Kind of expensive, but hey, you gotta pay to play, so to speak. But 8GB of RAM is going to be fantastic for this build, and 8GB is really the amount you should be going for this kind of, all-around build that we're going for. No reason to go for 12 or 16, and 4GB is going to be limiting in some games, so 8GB is that perfect amount to get right now. It is a little pricey at $83. I remember when this same kit of RAM was about $40, so, that kind of sucks. But hey, whatever. 8GB of RAM is going to be fine for this build. Like I said, the motherboard also has 4 RAM slots, so if you do want to go for a 12 or 16GB configuration in the future, you do have that option open. But right now, 8GB is more than enough. Hell, to be perfectly honest, a lot of games aren't even taking advantage of the 8GB of RAM, so 8GB, like I said, is going to be fine for this build. Moving on to the graphics card, I went with the Sapphire Radeon R9 280X. This is a 3GB graphics card with a great cooling solution, the Dual X. This is fantastic if you want to do things like overclocking this graphics card to get a little bit more performance out of it. And right now, this GPU is retailing for about 270 bucks. This is the best graphics card to get if you are looking for a, reasonably priced GPU that can game at 1080p. 1080p, this thing is an absolute monster. It's going to crush any game you throw at it. At max settings, you can turn up anti-aliasing, all that kind of good stuff. Battlefield 4, Witcher 2, upcoming titles like Witcher 3, Shadows of Mordor. This is a great GPU, and it's not going to break the bank. It's only $270. This, in my opinion, is a better option than the GTX 770 for the sole fact that right now with the R9 280X, you're also getting 3 free games from AMD's gold tier of games. Those games include games like Witcher 3, Thief, Tomb Raider, Sleeping Dogs, a lot of good titles. Just check it out. If you're living in the States, I know this promotion is valid. I don't know about overseas. So yeah, if you are living in the States, absolute killer deal for 270 bucks. You're getting a really rock solid graphics card and a bunch of free games. Really nowhere to go wrong. And like I said, one of those free games that you can get is Witcher 3. That game isn't even out yet. It's going to retail for $60 alone. So just think about that value. I mean, just for getting this graphics card, which is, without that deal, either way, it's still a good deal for $270. This graphics card is a beast, but they're also giving you 3 free games. It's just a great way to, you know, get some games in your collection to test out this graphics card, because most of those titles that AMD's offering are AAA titles and really great games. So yeah, the R9 280X just seemed like a no-brainer in this build. Like I said, great for 1080p gaming. Even at 1440p gaming, this is going to perform really well, but at 1080p, it's just a monster of a GPU. Moving on to the power supply, I went with the Corsair CX600. It's a 600 watt power supply. Now, word of note, this power supply is not on PC Part Picker. I tried a lot of different wording options. The power supply just wouldn't show up. It's on Newegg right now, though, so you can check as of July 19th. This power supply is on Newegg. Just, it's not on PC Part Picker, which is a little weird. They have something listed. They have the Corsair Gaming 600 watt, but they don't have a price along with it. This power supply right now is about $35 after a couple promotional codes that Newegg is offering right now. Typically goes for about $40 to $50. Really good power supply, 600 watts. The only thing that I have to say is that you're not going to be able to go for a Crossfire configuration if you get this power supply. If you do want to have the option of going for a Crossfire configuration, I recommend picking up something like a TX750, that's a 750 watt power supply, or something around that range. But in my opinion, crossfiring and SLIing isn't that wise of an option. I've explained it several times before, so I'm not going to get into that tangent in this video. But yeah, this CX600 watt is going to power this build no problem as far as a single GPU goes. If you are going for dual GPUs, you're going to have to get something a little bit more beefier, so just keep that in mind. Finally, for the case, I went with the Cooler Master Half 932. This is about $80 right now. Really solid case in my opinion. This is a mid-tower case, a lot of room for upgradability options. Just a fairly solid case. I think Cooler Master is one of the best case manufacturers around right now. Them and NZXT, it's kind of a back and forth war in my opinion for, you know, my opinion on the best case manufacturer. But thanks for watching this video, guys. Remember to hit that subscribe button, like this video. Let me know what you guys think. Are you going to pick up this PC? I think this is a great value PC. Really that good starting point for a lot of you gamers that don't want to get something too high-end, but also want to run every game at 1080p at really good frame rates and really good settings. So thanks for watching this video, guys, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.